Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see the numerical on continuous beam in unit number 4 stiffness method for the subject structural analysis 2. This is the first numerical. The statement of numerical is analyze the two span continuous beam shown in the below figure by stiffness matrix method, draw bending moment and shear force diagram. So this is the given continuous beam A, B, C. The member AB is loaded with a uniformly distributed load of 16 kN meter and the moment of inertia of member AB is I, whereas the length of member AB is 5 meter. Then member BC is loaded with a point load of 30 kN at a distance of 3 meter from support B, and total length of member BC is 4 meter and moment of inertia of member BC is 1.5 I. The first step in a stiffness matrix method is to calculate the degree of kinematic indeterminacy. Okay. Now the degree of kinematic indeterminacy, it depends upon the support, and here, okay, at support A there is fixed support, so the degree of kinematic indeterminacy will be 0. At support B there is a roller support, and as for the roller support the degree of kinematic indeterminacy is 2, but we neglect the axial displacement in x direction, so here there will be only one degree of kinematic indeterminacy, that is the rotation at C, and that we call it as a theta B. Then at support C there is again a roller support, so the degree of kinematic indeterminacy at support C will be 1, and that will be the rotation at C. Okay, so if you calculate the total degree of kinematic indeterminacy, it will be 1 plus 1, that is 2, and it will be the rotation at B and rotation at C. So total degree of kinematic indeterminacy 2. So this is the first step. Okay, now second step is assign the coordinate direction to the unknown displacement. Now here unknowns are theta B and theta C. For that we have to assign the coordinate. Okay, that means number. Now here rotation at support B, we'll call it as a D1, or we'll say it as a first unknown, and rotation at C we'll call it as a second unknown, or D2. Okay, now here as we know the sign convention, if the moment is in anti-clockwise direction, okay, we consider it as positive, in clockwise direction negative, and the translation towards right we consider it as positive, and towards left it is as negative. Okay, these are the sign convention. Okay, the next step is to find out the AD. AD is nothing but action corresponding to displacement in original structure. Okay, now we have considered at support B as our first unknown and support C as our second unknown. So at support B and C, whether there is any movement or couple or any external forces acting at that point. Okay, so here AD1 is nothing but it is for support B. At support B, is there any external movement or couple acting? No. Is there any point load or a force acting at point B? No. So here the value of AD1 will be equal to 0. Okay. Now AD2 is for support C, because our second unknown is rotation at C. Okay. So at support C, is there any external force or a point load acting? No. Is there any movement or couple acting at support C? No. Here AD2 will be equal to 0. So AD matrix is nothing but action corresponding to displacement in original structure, and this matrix is 0, 0. Okay. The next step is to find out the ADL. ADL is nothing but action corresponding to displacement in restraint structure. Okay. Now here the force in coordinate direction of the restraint structure, that means what you have to do now, you have to restrain the structure. You have to restrain the structure means you have to fix the structure. Okay. Now here at first member is AB. So here we'll restrain the structure. We are restraining structure means what? We are fixing that structure, and as we are fixing that structure will become a kinematically determinant structure. Here, what will be the degree of kinematic indeterminacy? It will be 0. Yes or no? For member AB, here it is also fixed, here it is also fixed. So here, as it is fixed, so degree of kinematic indeterminacy will be 0. Here also it will be 0. So as we restrain the structure, that structure become kinematically determinate structure. Okay. Now here we have to find out the fixed moment now. Okay. Now here, as the load is in downward direction, yes or no? So the fixed moment will be there to restrain the load. Okay. Now in member AB, fixed moment will be, the direction will be in anti-clockwise direction. As it is in anti-clockwise direction plus, and the load given is uniformly distributed load. For uniformly distributed load, the fixed moment is WL square by 12. Here value of W is 16. The length of member is 5. So 16 into 5 square by 12 will get the value 33.33 kilonewton meter. Now fixed moment in member BA, it is in clockwise direction. As it is in clockwise direction, as per our sign convention, it is negative. Okay. We know the formula WL square by 12 for UDL. So putting the values here, we'll get the value minus 33.33 kilonewton meter. So these were the fixed moment in member AB and BA. Now we'll find out the fixed moment in member BC. For that, first step is to restrain the member. So I will restrain the member here now. Okay, I will restrain this member here. Restrain the member means you have to fix those support. Okay, here now I have restrained it. Okay, now here the fixed moment for member BC, it will be like this, and for CB it will be in this way. Yes or no? Okay, now for member BC, it will be in anti-clockwise direction. As it is in anti-clockwise direction, plus. And where, which type of load is given? It is a point load which is acting away from the center. So the formula for that is WAB square upon L square. Now here, it is too much. Okay. First we will fix. Okay, I have fixed it. Okay, these are the fixed moment. I will show it by another color. So this is the fixed moment in member BC. This is fixed moment in member CB. Okay. Now here the value of A is what? It is 3. And what is value of B? 1. Okay. So W is what? 30 into 3 into 1 square upon 4 square. The value of fixed moment in member BC is 5.63. Okay. Now where the fixed moment in member CB, how it is acting? It is acting in clockwise direction. So minus. The formula is WA square B upon L square. Value of W is 30. Value of A is what? 3 square. Okay, and B is value 1 upon L square is what? Total length, that is 3 plus 1, 4 square. So we'll get the value what? Minus 60. Okay, now here we have to find out now ADL1. Okay, now at support B now, there are two movement now. First is what? It is acting in this way, and second movement is for member BC. It is acting in anti-clockwise direction. Okay. Now here, so if you in member BA, what is the value? It is clockwise, so minus 33.33. So minus 33.33, and the movement in member BC, it is what? It is plus 5.63, acting in anti-clockwise direction. So at support B, minus 33.33 plus 5.63. So here ADL value will be what? Minus, if you solve this, it will be minus 27.7. Now at support C, there is only one fixed moment, and that is in clockwise direction, moment in member CB, and that is what, minus 16.88. So here ADL 2 will be minus 16.82. Okay, I hope that you have understood this. So after finding out the ADL matrix, next step is to find out the stiffness matrix. Okay, now in the first step we have restrained the structure. Now in the here, now we have to release the structure depending upon the unknowns. Okay, now determine the stiffness matrix formed by the forces in the restrained structure subjected to unit values of D corresponding to the unknown displacement. Now here I have written that stiffness matrix S equal to, it is of 2 by 2. Why it is 2 by 2? Because our unknowns are 2, theta B and theta C. As the unknowns are 2, the size of the stiffness matrix is 2 by 2. Okay. Now here one by one we have to find out S11, S12, S21 and S21. Okay. Now first restrain the structure with D1, that is our first unknown, theta B equal to 1. Now here what you have to, now we have to release the structure for theta B equal to 1. Now if you see at support B, we have given the unit rotation at support B. Now at support B, two members are there, one is BA and second one is BC. So we have to give the unit rotation, and that unit rotation is to be given in anti-clockwise direction. So here I have given the unit rotations here. So here I'll draw this line, it is not visible. Okay, so this is the one line and this is the another line. Okay, now here we have given the unit rotation in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, now this unit rotation, that is theta B equal to 1, theta B equal to 1. As two members are connecting here, so both members are given unit rotation. Now here I have written S11. Now here S11, now the first suffix 1, this first suffix is stand for the unknown number. Okay, now our theta B is our first unknown, so here I have written 1. And second suffix 1, it stands for where the unit rotation is applied. Where unit rotation is applied? At the 1. At theta B we apply the unit rotation. So here we have written 1 1. Okay, first one stand for the unknown number and second one stand where the unit rotation is applied. Okay, now here as we give the unit rotation, there will be a moment induced, and that moment induced will be 4 EI upon L in member BA and 4 EIL in member BC. Okay, so here we know the value of I now for member AB, it is I. So 4 EI and length of member AB is what? 5. So 4 EI upon 5 plus, now the moment of member BC is 1.5, put that value here, and length of member BC is what? 4. So 4 E into 1.5 I upon 4. Okay, so the value is what? If you solve this, it is 2.3 EI. Okay, now this, okay, now when we rotate we give the unit rotation at support B, what will happen? Some movement will also induce at support C, and that will be also in anti-clockwise direction. Now here remember that whatever the movement that are there, all are in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, now here when we rotate the support B, the moment induced at support B will be 4 EI upon L, and half of that will be produced at support C. Okay, so half of that is nothing but what? 2 EI upon L. Okay, now here I have written S21 now. Okay, now first suffix 2 stand for what? The unknown number. Now our theta C is second unknown, so here I have written 2, and where the unit rotation is applied? The unit rotation is applied at 1, that is theta B equal to 1. So here the suffix is S21. Always remember that the first suffix stand for the unknown number and second suffix where the unit rotation is applied. Now it is half of the, that is 2E upon L. So 2E into value of I is 1.5 I upon L. Okay, it is for CB. So if you solve this, we will get the value 0.75 EI. Okay, so this is for the theta b equal to 1. Okay, after this, now the next step. Okay, now next step is you have to apply the unit rotation at support C, that is theta c equal to 1. Okay, theta c equal to 1, and this is to be applied in which direction? Anti-clockwise direction. Okay, here anti-clockwise direction C, we applied in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so when we apply this unit rotation at support C, there will be a movement induced, and that movement will also induce in anti-clockwise direction, and that value is what now? That value will be what? 4 EI upon L. That value is 4 EI upon L. So here, what number should be given now? Yes, it will be S22. Okay, now 2 stand for what? Unknown number. Now for theta c, the unknown number is 2, and where the unit rotation is given? At theta c, and which unknown number is 2. So here we are written S22. Okay, it is equal to 4 EI upon L. Okay, where the unit rotation is applied at that point, the moment induced will be 4 EI upon L, and at the far end it will be 2 EI upon L. Remember this. So here 4E into 1.5, that is moment of inertia, and length of the member BC is 4. Okay, so the value is 1.5. Now when we apply the moment, that is theta c equal, we apply the unit rotation, that is theta c equal to 1 at support C, at that time a movement is also induced at the far end, and that is in member BC, and that is also in anti-clockwise direction, and that value will be 2 EI upon L. Okay, always remember that where the unit rotation is applied at that point, the value is what? 4 EI upon L, and at the far end it is 2 EI upon L. So value of I for member BC is what? 1.5. Okay, length of member is 4, and if you solve this, we'll get this value. Now again I am repeating this here. What suffix is to be given now here? Okay, now first stand for what? Unknown number. Now tell me, what is the unknown number for here? It is 1. Okay, yes or no? And where the unit rotation is applied? At the C. Okay, so here I will write down now 2. So here this stand for what? S12. Here we have written S12. Okay, now we have given the unit rotation at B as well as unit rotation at C, and we have find out the values of the stiffness matrix. Okay, okay, now here we have written that stiffness matrix here. Now the next step is, now first we have what we have done? We have restrained the structure, then we have released the structure, and the third is you have to balance the joint. Okay, now you have to balance by applying the superposition equation or equation of equilibrium of forces. Okay, so that equation is what? AD equal to ADL in plus S into T. Okay, now here AD is nothing but, we know that there are two unknown, theta B and theta C. So AD1 for theta B, AD2 is for theta C. Again ADL1 for theta B, ADL2 for theta C. Okay, plus the stiffness matrix, there are two unknowns. Stiffness matrix will be of 2 by 2, and D1 and D2 are nothing but the unknowns. Okay, so put the value of AD1 and AD2. Already we have find out 0, 0, ADL1, ADL2, that is minus 27.7, and ADL2 is minus 16.88, plus the value of stiffness matrix S11, S2, S11 is 2.3, S21 and S21 and S12, it is 0.75, and S22 is 1.5. Okay, and D1 and D2 are theta B and theta C. Okay, now here you have to multiply this matrix, so 2.3 into theta B, then 0.75 into theta C, which is equal to 27.7 we have taken on this side, then 16.88 equal to 0.75 theta B and 1.5 theta C. So here if you solve these two simultaneous equation, this is the equation, we'll call it as 1, and this I will call it as. Now solving these two equation, we'll get the value of theta B. that is minus 10 upon EI, and value of theta c as 6.25, okay, upon EI. Okay, so these values will be, that value of theta v is our first unknown and value of theta c is our second unknown, and these values will be required to find out the moment in the member. Okay, so the next part of this numerical we'll see in the next video. Thank you for watching this.